You're unhappy, Grady. Why?
Wow. May I speak candidly?
Sure, go ahead.
Major League Baseball and its fans, they're going to be more than happy to throw you and Google Boy under the bus if you keep doing what you're doing here. You don't put a team together with a computer, Billy.
No?
No. You're discounting what scouts have done for 150 years, even yourself?
Adapt or die.
Adapt or die. Those words aren't just about baseball, they're about every organization today. Because in the workplace, standing still means falling behind. After studying Chapter 10, I realized that innovation and change are not optional. They are the key to survival and growth, and that's why this chapter is so important. It shows us how managers can lead change, overcome resistance, and build workplaces that keep evolving. But why all of that is important? Because every organization sometimes faces the need to change swiftly and dramatically. Take Nokia for example. Even though it was once the world's largest maker of cell phones, it lost its position in the US market by failing to keep up with innovative competitors like Motorola and Apple. On the other hand, Samsung was once viewed as a cheap, low-quality brand, but by embracing change and implementing new processes, it transformed into one of the most innovative companies in the world. A Samsung CEO once said, "We cannot live without change. The race for survival in this world is not to the strongest, but to the most adaptive." Chapter 10 begins with innovation and the changing workplace. Today's world is shifting from a knowledge economy to a creative economy, where organizations generate value not only from information but from imagination and innovation. Change can be driven by external forces, such as new regulations, supplier demands, or rising costs. But change can also come from within the company, through new products, systems, or training programs. This process is called organizational change, the adoption of a new idea or behavior by an organization. To survive, businesses must develop better technologies, create new products and services, and continuously improve employee skills. However, success is not only about creating ideas, but also about implementing them. That is why managers use an ambidextrous approach. This means balancing two things at once, giving flexibility and freedom to encourage creativity, while also applying structure and discipline to make sure ideas are implemented effectively. In short, innovative organizations are both creative and disciplined, and that is why they are more profitable, admired, and be able to adapt in a changing workplace.
Let's talk about changing these new product and technologies. When we talk about this, the first thing we need to know is product change. What is product change? So, product change is about changing what customer actually gets. For clear example is Microsoft Word. At first, it was just a place to type documents. Then it added features like reference, tables, and even now is AI Copilot to help users type faster. All of these are product changes because the software itself keeps improving for customers. Product change is related to technology change, which is how the product is made. For example, industry nowadays are using 3D printing. Instead of building parts in factories with heavy machinery, they can print them directly. The product might look the same, but the process is much faster, cheaper, and more efficient. To make these changes happen, companies need to rely on three innovation strategies. The first one is exploration, and then cooperation and entrepreneurship. The first innovation strategy is exploration. Exploration is focused on creativity and new ideas. It's really about encouraging the development of new products and technologies. Now, creativity doesn't just happen, it comes from people. That's why creativity individuals usually share certain characteristics. They have conceptual fluency and open mindedness. meaning they can generate ideas and look at things from a different perspective. They value originality and they are often more independent with strong self confidence. They also bring qualities like playfulness, curiosity, and willingness to explore without too much discipline at first. And most importantly, they have persistence and commitment, staying focused even when challenges appear. One popular way organizations encourage new ideas is through an idea incubator. This is a program or place where employees can suggest and develop new ideas in a supportive environment. It gives people the freedom to be creative while still having the resources to turn ideas into something real. So, exploration is all about building a culture that allows creativity and ideas to flourish, which is the starting point for real innovation.
Another important aspect of innovation beside exploration is cooperation with internal or external coordination, and with entrepreneurship, which is useful for creating a space for the birth of the new ideas. Cooperation. What is cooperation? Cooperation is one of the important aspects of innovation that providing mechanism for both internal and external coordination. Idea for product and technology innovation typically originate at lower level of the organization and need to flow horizontally across cooperation. Internal coordination. Successful innovation requires expertise from several departments simultaneously, and valid innovation is often the result of valid cooperation. Companies that successfully innovate usually have the following characteristics. 1. People in marketing have good understanding of customer needs. 2. Technical specialists are aware of recent technological development and make effective use of new technology. And 3. Members from key department, research, manufacturing, marketing cooperate in the development of the new product or service. One approach to successful innovation is called the horizontal linkage model, which is illustrated in the center circle of Exhibit 10.4. The model shows that the research, manufacturing, and sales and marketing department within an organization simultaneously contribute to new products and technologies. People from this department meet frequently in teams and task force to share ideas and solve problems. External coordination Exhibit 10.4 also illustrates that organizations look outside their boundary to find and develop new ideas. Engineers and researchers stay aware of new technology development. Marketing personnel pay attention to shifting market conditions and customer needs. And somehow, some organizations build formal strategic partnerships such as alliance and joint venture to improve innovation success. Open innovation means extending the search for and commercialization of new ideas beyond the boundaries of the organization and even beyond the boundaries of the industry. Entrepreneurship, the third aspect of product and technology innovation, is creating a mechanism to make sure new ideas are carried forward, accepted, and implemented. Manager can directly influence whether entrepreneurship flourishes in the organization by expressing support for entrepreneurial activity, giving employee a degree of autonomy, and rewarding learning and risk-taking. One important matter is fostering idea champion. What is idea champion? The formal definition of an idea champion is a person who sees the need for and champions productive change within the organization. There is another way to facilitate entrepreneurship is through a new venture team. A new venture team is a unit separate from the rest of the organization that is responsible for developing and initiating a major innovation. One variation of new venture team is called a skunkworks. Skunkworks is a separate, small, informal, highly autonomous, and often secretive group that focus on breakthrough idea for the business.
So, after changing things, here I'm going to explain to you about changing people and culture. And what's the difference between them? Before that, you need to remember that every successful scenario of change in an organization it involves people change but also culture change. People change only concerns a few members of the organization, such as a few members of a manager, a few members of an employee. But Culture change involves a change in the whole mindset of the organization. That's why a large scale culture change is much harder to do than a people change. So, in changing people and culture, there is two specific tools that can help them. That is training and development and organizational development or OD. So first, training and development. Training and development is one of the most frequently used tool by an organization to help in changes. So, for an example, a company may offer to the employee a training or a course that includes how to improve the communication skills on how to improve a teamwork in the organization. And the second one is organization development, or you can abbreviate it as OD. OD uses more of a systematic way to help changes in an organization, such as behavioral science knowledge and techniques. And there's also three types of current problem that OD can help managers with. So the first one is merger and acquisition. When two companies merge together, there is bound to be a difference in culture and habit. OD can help with that, and it can also help to align the goals of both of the company. For the second one is organizational decline or revitalization. So when a company is in trouble and maybe the sales are falling and the employees are unmotivated, OD can help with that. Maybe like with restructuring or changing the strategies of the company. And for the last one is conflict management. So when there is a trouble in the company, maybe it's from the individual to an individual, between teams or departments, OD can provide a tool to construct a problem solving employees so they can work together again efficiently.
In this time, we will discussing about implementing change, need for change, and resistance to change. Without that, let's get started.
The final step to be managed in the change process implementation. A new creative idea will not benefit the organization until it is placed and being fully used. Executives at companies around the world are investing heavily in change and innovation projects, but many of them say they aren't very happy with the results. One frustration for managers is that employees often seem to resist change for no apparent reason. To effectively manage the implementation process, managers should be aware of the reason people resist change and use techniques to enhance employee cooperation. Major cooperative-wide change can be particularly challenging. Next is need for change. Organization must be able to identify when change is necessary. In order to find problem, manager must first. Managers should recognize the problem through performance gaps. The difference between actual results and desired goals. This gap shows where improvements are urgently needed. Second, it is important to create a sense of urgency within the organization so others in the organization will recognize. Finally, managers should analyze threats and opportunities using SWOT analysis. By understanding strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, the organization can prepare effective strategies to face challenges and adapt to the environment. Next is resistance to change. Getting order to understand the need for changes is the first step in implementation. Yet, most changes will encounter some degree of resistance. Idea champions often discover that other employees are enthusiastic about their new ideas. Members of new venture group may be surprised when managers in the regular organization do not support or approve their innovation. People resist change for several reasons, and understanding them can help managers implement change more effectively. First is self-interest. People typically resist a change they believe conflicts with their self-interest. A proposed change, a job design, structure, or technology may lead to an increase in employees' workload. For example, or a real perceived loss of power, prestige, pay, or benefits. The fear of a personal loss is perhaps the biggest obstacle to organizational change. The second is the lack of understanding and trust. Employees often distrust the intention behind a change or do not understand the intended purpose of a change. If previous working relationship with an idea champion have been negative, resistance may occur. One manager had a habit of initiating a change in the financial reporting system about every 12 months and then losing interest and not following through. After the third time, employees no longer went along with the change because they did not trust the manager's intention to follow through their benefit. Third is uncertainty. Uncertainty is the lack of information about future events. It represents as a fear of unknown. Uncertainty is especially threatening for employees who have a low tolerance for change and fear anything out of ordinary. They do not know how change will affect them and worry about whether they will be able to meet the demands of a new procedure or technology. The last one is different assessment and goals. Another reason for resistance to change is that people who will be affected by innovation may assess the situation differently from idea, champion, or new venture group. Critics frequently voice legitimate disagreement over the proposed benefits of a change. Managers in each department pursue different goals, and an innovation may distract from performance and goal achievement for some departments. For example, if marketing gets a new product it wants for a customer, the cost of manufacturing may increase and the manufacturing superintendent thus will resist. A resistance may call attention to a problem with innovation.
Force field analysis is grew from the work of Kurt Lewin. Who is Kurt Lewin? Kurt Lewin was a German-American psychologist who is considered one of the modern pioneers in the field of social psychology, organizational psychology, and applied psychology in the United States, and is even considered the father of social psychology. Force field analysis. For example, using force field analysis to change from traditional to just-in-time inventory system. For driving forces, number one, significant cost saving from reduced inventory levels. Number two, saving from needing fewer workers to handle inventory. Number three, faster and more competitive market response. For training forces, number one, a slow freight system that delay on-time deliveries. Number two, facility layout focus on inventory storage rather than smooth delivery. Number three, forecast kit unsuitable for repeat inventory deployment. Intention tactics. Research have studied various methods for dealing with resistance to change. Here are 5 points I like to share. Number one, communication and education tactics. Number two, participation tactics. Number three, negotiation tactic. Number four, coercion tactics. And number five, top management support tactics.